This is a steal for the Rangers. If the Blue Shirts can acquire this talented scorer without giving up one player in particular, I'd bring him to Broadway. I'm going to break down why this potential trade would have major implications on New York in the near future in just a moment on another sizzling edition of Rangers Digest. Welcome back to Rangers Digest. We are built for Blue Shirt fandom, and I am your host, Bret Botfeld. It is great to be back with you guys on this beautiful Sunday, the 12th of October. Guys, we have a ton to get into here today. There is one player that continues to be linked here to the New York Rangers via trade, via free agency next offseason. We also have a matchup at Madison Square Garden tonight between the Rangers and the Washington Capitals, a chance for the Blue Shirts to make a statement in the Metro Division. But before we get into all that, a quick reminder to smash that subscribe button. About 72% of you who currently watch these videos are still unsubscribed to the channel. So please go down below, hit that free subscribe button. We greatly appreciate it so you can stay up to date with everything happening New York Rangers, because guys, this is the place to be for all your daily New York Rangers content. Not only that, so you could be part of something special here at Rangers Digest. Let's waste no more time and hop right into today's video. All right, guys, from RG Media, according to an NHL source, the Maple Leafs and the New York Rangers have expressed trade interest in Martin Nečas before and will likely do so again this season. Guys, it is no secret that ever since the move from Carolina to Colorado, that Martin Nečas has expressed frustration with his role within the system. And, you know, they've spoken about contract negotiations and have been unable to reach a deal despite some generous offers from the Avalanche. So this is certainly something to keep our eyes on. NYR Louis commented on this on X. He said, "Felt like I need to say this in regards to Martin Nečas' future trade rumors. Unless the Rangers are a stamped playoff team in January, when I expect the rumors to heat up, there's a 0% chance I'd give up our 2026 first-round pick to get him. Gavin McKenna for 3 years on an entry-level contract is just too attractive." NYR Louis says his offer would be Alexei Lafreniere and Carolina's first-round pick that the Rangers got via the Keandre Miller deal. Guys, something to keep in mind. The Rangers do have 2 first-round picks in 2026, but here is the reason why I would not move Lafreniere. I would float somebody like Scott Morrow instead, and here is why it could make sense for both teams. The Rangers need some scoring punch. The Avalanche, obviously losing Nečas would suck for them, but if they don't plan on extending him, if he doesn't plan on staying in Colorado, they got to get some value for him before he leaves. And look, their blue line, they have Devon Toews, they have Cale Makar. It is simply sensational. But that third pair, they have Brent Burns on a 1-year deal. The guy is 40. He's about to be 41. This guy is not getting any younger. Scott Morrow could plug in on that third line for them and be a young kid that they could develop in Colorado. You know, I doubt they would accept that, but the point of the matter is I would not move Alexei Lafreniere, and here's why, guys. Take a look at this stat right here from Statboy Steven. Excellent job pulling this up. The Rangers are 70, 11, and 4 in games where Alexei Lafreniere scores a goal. Let that sink in. 70 wins, 11 losses, 4 overtime losses, essentially 70 and 15, 55 games over 500 when Lafreniere scores a goal. Not multiple goals, just has to score a goal, and look at the Rangers' success. The reason I bring that up is because look at what Louis is saying here, right? Unless the Rangers are a stamped playoff team in January, so let's just say they are a stamped playoff team. What does that mean, guys? That most likely means that Lafreniere is producing. Look at the year the Rangers won the President's Trophy. Lafreniere had a breakout season, and he is a part of the plan here. He is a part of the reason why the Rangers took a step back last year. Obviously, it's not just him. Multiple players took a step back, but he went from 28 goals in 23-24 to 17 goals. When Lafreniere is playing well, the Rangers play well. You know, Darius brought it up in a previous video. Igor Shesterkin and Alexei Lafreniere really hold the keys to the Rangers' future here, because as they go, the New York Rangers go. Martin Nečas, I believe this is a player that even if you don't trade for him, he will hit the open market no matter what team he is traded to. This is a guy that has been a bit of a head case lately. I believe he's going to test the open market. He's making $6.5 million. We understand he wants a significant pay raise, declined a deal in Colorado approaching nearly $10 million. I believe he's going to want $10 million, maybe north of that. So this is a player that you may not even have to give anything up for during the trade deadline. You can pursue him in the offseason if you would like to do that, if you would like to add some scoring punch to your roster. But let's get into his stats. All right, guys, Martin Nečas, 6'3", 195 pounds, 26 years of age. In 79 games last year, he had 27 goals, 56 assists, 83 points, a very good season. He was a +5 in 19 minutes of ice time. This is a player that he's got strong speed and acceleration. It would fit the Mike Sullivan and JT Miller north to south style of hockey that they're trying to implement with the Rangers. Not only that, he's a weapon on the power play, but this is a guy that when it comes to unsettled offense, what I mean by that is forechecking, back-checking, battling along the boards. He needs to improve in those areas, and that's something, Mike Sullivan values very highly. He's also not very physical for his size, and he's a bit inconsistent. So a very talented player nonetheless, but if I'm the Rangers and Alexei Lafreniere is, rolling and the Rangers are rolling, I would not look to dangle him in a deal for Martin Nečas. That's just me. But there is one other player. There is another player. I understand McDavid is locked up and Eichel is locked up, Kaprizov's locked up, etc. But there is one other player that will hit the open market next offseason that the Rangers need to keep their eye on if they're looking for somebody other than Martin Nečas, and that name is... That is Adrian Kempe, guys. Jim Parsons of the Hockey Writers reported on October 9th that the Kings are in negotiations with Kempe, but he also reported that talks are ongoing between Kempe and the Kings and that his asking price has climbed in the past couple of weeks. As you can see here, the Rangers are going to have about $30 million to play with next offseason. And if you look at the bottom number there, active roster, the Rangers will only need to fill 6 spots next offseason, which is less than what they had to fill this offseason. And like Martin Nečas, Kempe is also going to be looking for a significant pay raise. You can see it's a bit of a steal, only making $5.5 million. So we do expect that number to rise, no doubt about it. But let's get into his statistics. All right, guys, 81 games for Adrian Kempe. He's 6'2", 29 years of age, 35 goals, 38 assists, 73 points. He was a +22 in 19 minutes of ice time for the postseason Los Angeles Kings. He was a very big part of that playoff team. And, this is also a very talented winger. He is a straight line skater, guys. He might not have that top end speed that Nečas possesses, but he is smooth. He is a multiple 30-plus goal scorer. He even scored 41 goals once. He's a strong two-way forward, asset on both the power play and the penalty kill. This is a player that Mike Sullivan would have a lot of interest in. When it comes to the bad, his playmaking could get a little better, but he's an excellent finisher. He's a north to south style of hockey player. He is a little bit loose with the puck, which comes from his aggression on the offensive end. But guys, you don't lose anything in the D zone with Kempe. Like I said, this is the type of player that Mike Sullivan would absolutely salivate over. When it comes to that unsettled offense, when it comes to the forecheck, when it comes to the back check, when it comes to battling along the boards, being a 200-foot player, really getting in the crease of the opposing goaltender, sticking his nose in there, straight line skating. That is what Adrian Kempe is. That is what Mike Sullivan values. So the Rangers have some decisions to make here. They have a lot of money to spend next offseason. We'll see if they bring back Panarin. Even if they do, they could still sign a player like Kempe, like Martin Nečas. Adrian Kempe would fit this team better, in my opinion. The only pushback I have with him is his age. He's going to be, age 30 by the time the Rangers would sign him. And I've said it here on the channel that, all their star players, their best players are all over the age of 30, and you see what that brings, dealing with some adversity. Panarin, JT Miller dealing with some injuries in the preseason. Now Vincent Trocheck dealing with the injury. Durability doesn't improve with age, guys. That's something we have to remember. So Nečas is younger, but Kempe a better fit in my opinion. And I would just like to say, once again, I would not trade Alexis Lafreniere and future draft capital for Martin Nečas. Keep in mind, if the Rangers are doing well, Alexis Lafreniere is probably doing well. Not only that, but Martin Nečas is a rental, so you don't even know if he would sign long-term. But leave your comments down below. What do you guys think? Would you prefer Martin Nečas? Would you prefer Adrian Kempe? Leave your comments down below. Give us a follow on X and TikTok. It's in the description. And if you haven't yet hit that free subscribe button, hit that button so you can stay up to date with everything happening New York Rangers.